I got this comment to my F dropping video. You seem weary, but man, it makes me sad. I like your vids. You exactly right on the money. It's like you're too close to the lunatics. Yeah, maybe. And you know what? I work in mental health, and the lunatics aren't the patients. They're not. It's our government. Seriously, I see our government as more lunatics than any patient I've ever seen. But I would never call any patient. I take care of lunatics. But I think a lot of the patients I take care of, you know, it's because of the system we're under. It's like a losing battle sometimes. And are there people that don't want to help themselves? Yes, there are. But I've talked about, there's just it's the whole system, the way it's run. It's like it wants to keep, especially people with mental health, disempowered. Not the people that work in it, but the government itself. Like because of our professional organizations, they're lunatics to me. They are. Magnet are lunatics. But that's always been a lunatic thing to me. That always has been. Because I would have to go every time I would start a job, and I'd have to sign. I was devalued from the moment I started. Didn't matter about my past record. Didn't matter about reference. Didn't matter. I was devalued from the moment I was hired, because I would have to sign a contract saying no matter, and I'm not talking about travel. I mean, being a permanent employee, you have to sign a contract saying I have to get my BSN, even though I took the same state board nursing exam. I'm a registered nurse, but I have to have that bachelor's degree, that piece of paper that I can do online. It has nothing to do with skills. But that I'm not valued until I do that. So I'd have to sign a paper and say, okay, you can fire me in 2 years if I don't get this. So yeah, that's the result of Magnet. So yeah, there's a lot of lunatics at the top of my profession. I don't have trouble saying it. I've watched it for too long. The things they do makes no sense. It's not about improving patient care at the bedside. But I get your point. I was dropping a lot of F-bombs in my last video, and it's just something's off today. I don't know what it is. It's a strange day for some reason. You know, maybe the shooting, but then it's like the Nashville or the Tennessee shooting. Yeah, was Nashville, right? When you know that they create those crises deliberately, and then you look into what's the CIA was involved in with mind control and stuff, it's like maybe it's that. I'm just tired of seeing that stuff take place. I did see a video, and the guy made a good point. He's like, doesn't it seem like the moment we took prayer out of school, there became an increase in school shootings? That's a good point. Again, I guess I missed the foundation, but I haven't seen the foundation of America for a long time. I think that's why Trump kind of sparked a flame in people that miss seeing the America that, because who I see most that post on TikTok, at least that I come across, is people in my generation, Gen Xers. And I've said before, Gen Xers, we were those wallflowers. Like, we weren't the people that we would stand up for ourselves, but yet we would rather just, let them have their whatever. Like, that's sort of the generation we are. We don't want not that we can't take the conflict on or take somebody on. It's not that we're weak or snowflakes, but it's just we don't want the aggravation. It's just, live and let live. It just doesn't matter. And it matters, like we pay attention to things, but, just go on with our life. But then it was like when they started going after the kids with the transgender stuff, when they started doing the Drag Time Story Hour, it started for me even before that, because I had already seen that going on when I was at my last permanent job, which was, Northwestern. And it's like the frontal lobe isn't formed. This shouldn't even be a discussion about kids doing this, going on hormones and doing any of this. It shouldn't, because of the frontal lobe. And nobody would, I don't hear anybody saying that, but maybe the science decided to change that, who knows. But I think that's when you saw your Gen Xers say enough is enough. And yet Trump sparked something in people. I think that's when you saw your Gen Xers stand up and start speaking up and not caring what the left thought. Because I think a lot of us just wanted to get along with people, and knowing that, you know, I think a lot of conservative Gen Xers have been around a lot of people that are liberal, and we just want to get along with people. We don't care what you think. It's them that can tend to look at me differently. But up until that point, that's how it was. And then when it reached that point, and we were already a group of people that were, you know, really loving Trump, it was like, that was when it was like everybody started speaking up. That's who I see a lot of, is Gen Xers. So I guess just then, once you know the truth and you look into everything and you realize these school shootings likely don't have to take place, but that's how manipulative and monstrous these people are, is they create these crises. And for the normal person, they think that's crazy. They can't create a kid to go, yeah, you look into those declassified documents of the CIA mind control, that's everything they wanted to do. It was all about that. It's all about having cattle, you know, being able to just herd people, you know, and we've just been conditioned over time. So I don't know if I'm weary. It's more just, I'm fed up. I'm just fed up with it, because the biggest thing, the only thing I think that with a nation as big as we are, because I mean, back when the founders, you know, founded America and created the Constitution and all that, there wasn't as many as we have now, right? So there was more likely chance for people to have their voices heard and that kind of thing. But the only thing really the average American has is that First Amendment. Not that I don't care about the other amendments, but without that first one, you don't have any of the rest. You don't have your guns, you don't have nothing. So when that starts being toyed with, it just pisses me off, because that's the only thing we do have. So while all the elites in Washington, all the politicians at the state and federal level, okay, don't care at all what I say. They only care about it once I have a certain amount of followers, once there's a certain amount of people that have heard me say something and it's against them. Then they don't like it. Then they want to come after it. And yet that just pisses me off, because that's the only avenue the average people like me have. That's it. That's the only avenue we have. So I see them as losers. I do. I see the people in Washington, in the state and federal level, most of the states, as losers, because they don't even play fair. Not that I would expect them to, but at least allow the American people to have a voice. But no, you want to take that away too. So I guess it's just heartbreaking. That would probably be the better word. And it's easier sometimes to just be angry about it than to be heartbroken. So, just tired of seeing the same bullshit day in and day out play out with these globalists, these experts, and the news media. I would love if we return to what our foundation of this country was about. There would be less death, it would be a healthier country, and it would be a country that had more gratitude and more love for their neighbor.